I loved this fucking card. God damn. I reside in the UK, and this shit started after I had my spot of afternoon tea. I want more fights in Florida. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Quick thanks to all the guys and ladies subscribing from Twitter. Loving the community there. Back to plugin. Let's fucking go. Before I get to the dog shit, credit to Dumas. I watched a lot of this guy's fights in preparation for his fight against Fremd, and it was enough to make me pick him. On that occasion, it seemed like someone kidnapped that guy and replaced him with some scrub. I was fuming. He must have escaped and killed his doppelganger because he looked like himself again. Good on the ground, transitioning and poised. Alright, now to Bird Brain Brundage. Walked in like he didn't want to be there. Pulled 3 stupid guillotines. This isn't women's MMA, bruh. This isn't a first BJJ training drill, you idiot. I know he came in on short notice, but the IQ on display was appalling. Dropped the gloves after, and rightly so. Like I said, they were both crap, and I was 50% right. Started 0-1, didn't bet it, fuck it, next. Excellent fucking fight. The card started here for me. Spoiled by judging again, I'll get to that bullshit. First round was the closest. Emmers was more active, throwing shots, but you can argue that Jenkins hit the more damaging with nasty leg kicks and smashing kicks to the body. Emmers is so fucking good though, man. Such a high IQ. Adjusted the game plan and started getting more boxing heavy. Landed long jabs and combinations, punctuating the second with ground and pound. Third round was another Emmers round for me. Got a takedown, control with ground and pound and threatening chokes. I also managed to reverse position later in the round. For me, both men raised stock here. This isn't exactly a robbery, but for me, a very bad decision. There is a difference. Emmers closed as a -700 favorite. That says it all. This is bullshit. Judges are ruining the sport. This was a fucking barroom brawl. What a scrap. Mariscal hit a beautiful knee and hit 3 massive hip tosses throughout the fight that took the wind out of Peak in the most notable moments of these rounds. Peak was getting fucked up and hit the most deliberate nut shot to get a break that I've ever seen in the first round. Went for those patented goofy hammer fists, which I admit I love later in the first. Mariscal just laughed at him. Everyone was picking Peak, and I said it would be Peak for him. Mariscal was just a better fighter. More control in the second for Mariscal, and was clearly 2 up. Third was a little sloppier as both men gassed a little, but was still so fun. Mariscal hit the more damaging shit, and Peak showed he has a rock chin and will just go with it. Mariscal punctuated the third with a nasty kick to the face. With the judges in the last one, I was still not sure, and that just fucks me off. If you missed this, you need to treat yourself. Man, this was another fun one, but it kind of summed up what's been causing Zhalgas issues with his split decisions. First round was a feeling out process, with Fan getting more comfortable finding the jab. Zhalgas did get a few takedowns, but Fan used Wiz as well to prevent control and damage. Second round is when it really took off though. Fan started finding shots and hit a 10-punch combination at one point, and I thought Zhalgas was fucked. He weathered the storm and started applying a little pressure towards the end, but lost that round. Tough motherfucker though. Jab and pressure was really what told the story throughout this fight. Fan worked it well, and Zhalgas was landing, but not cleaner for me. I had it 2-1 or 3-0 to Fan. Was called a split, which must have pissed Zhalgas off, but he lost this one though. Nice scrap. 4 underdogs technically won. Jenkins was a robbery. You know a card is fire when even the women put on a show. Ricci isn't just a bunda. This girl is so well-rounded. Implemented an excellent game plan here. So much quicker on the feet and more active. Put the takedowns in when she needed and didn't make the mistake of going into Robertson's guard on the ground. Lit her up when she could fire off. Robertson managed to fold Ricci up for a second in the third round, and the whole crowd started just collectively jacking off. She's not going to be a champion with Whaley at the top, but will be a top 3 contender on this performance. Enjoyable technical fight. Strawweight is the best of a dumpster fire that is women's MMA. Breakout performance. 2 absolute killers in there. Boys look like welterweights. Leg kicks though, man. Rebecki chewed him up, chopped him down, worked both legs, pounding away on both, which was such a smart game plan. Finished with an overhand right in the second, and while Radzebov was still in there, this felt kind of a bit more like a mercy stoppage. This was pretty much one-way traffic. I thought this might have gone to a decision at the beginning, but I did pick Rebecki and cashed on it. Good striking on display and continued on a card that was really delivering up to this point. Alright, I'm not sure about this one. I will be real. I thought I had Brown 2 rounds up with the poking strikes and landing 2 takedowns at the end of each round. Turman smashed him up in the third though. Landed a fubbing elbow that fucked his nose up and took the third over by clubbing away with dirty boxing inside and additional elbows that were clearly causing more damage. 2-1 is not egregious. It's how I felt it went, but this was a close fight. Another W for your boy. Not the best fight, but decent enough. Alright, this was not a fun one to watch. A lot of clinching, and we knew it would be this way. A lot of shit on Twitter talking about how close this was. Personally, I didn't really think it was. This was a Magny fight, and Rowe walked right into it, which I cannot understand. For me, what put it in Magny's favour was simply the activity and the knees to the middle in the clinch. It did get called a split, which wasn't too egregious for me, but Rowe simply did not do enough to win this fight. Just a dumb game plan. You have to piece up Magny on the feet, and he wasn't letting his hands go. Dumb. Skip this one if you are rewatching. Rowe will have better days though. What a fucking magnificent performance by Brandon Allen. This man has really turned a corner. Both men were throwing big shots, but the biggest factor in this was how composed Allen was. Hurt him a few times and took a nasty uppercut, but took it like a champ and caught Silva with an overhand right, which dropped him. Didn't lose his head, climbed on top, and softened Silva up, then locked in a rear naked choke. I was nervous about this one, but Allen has really learned, man. He's very good. At middleweight, he could climb into the top 5. The division is garbage. Another one cashes in. I'm rich again, motherfuckers. Fuck's sake, man. Santos was doing so well in this one, until he just wasn't. Dropped one of my 2 parlays on this one, and it really pisses me off. Santos was excellent in the first round. Almost locked up a few arm bars, and was staying active and varied enough on the feet, going to the legs and the head, and that was really giving Onama problems. Start of the second, Santos managed to get the better of a scramble, locked in a body triangle, which is usually a drainer and a round killer. Onama managed to switch and power his way out, fair play to him. Then Santos decides it's a great idea to trade in the pocket. Why? Onama caught him with a nasty uppercut and another nasty shot as Santos just timbered. Another smashing blow on the ground to add a punctuation on it. Great TKO and a fun fight overall. Santos let this one slip for me. The firing off of the bow and the arrow was cringy as fuck though. Get your own horrible shit, mate. Alright, this one ended with one of the worst fucking eye pokes of all time. Granted, it was accidental, but Lane has no reason to be fuming on this one. That shit was horrible. I gave this fight a 10-second breakdown. It should get the same for the reaction. From the little we saw, Lane might have had this, but we'll never really know. Stupid. Tafa's eye was caked. Ribas and Barber up next. Lord have mercy. Alright, I dislike Barber very much. Nobody cops a robbery like her. Ribas is kind of annoying too though, so this was a little bit confusing for me. This one turned out to be a hell of a war though. First round they both traded blows, but a hell of a lot of it was wasted, with Ribas going for a clinch and takedown that isn't really her wheelhouse. She did get a nice headlock takedown a little later, but Barber ended up reversing it and landing ground and pound. Second round they both went for it, exchanging blows, both seeming to have moments where the other was hurt. Both girls bloodied up hard. Barber ended up landing a head kick and it was the beginning of the end. I still hate her, but the ground and pound is solid. Very, very nice win for Barber. Got to admit, I'm a little bit impressed. Alright, firstly, Josh Emmett, well done, sir. I bet on the plus 2.5 and cashed like a motherfucker. It came in at like plus, I don't know what it was. It was like ×3. Generational wealth after this one. Topuria was sensational. Not just skilled in every area. The IQ and patience was insane. This fight went 25, but it can be summed up by that prior statement. Topuria is just a superior fighter. We all knew that. The risk was that he might lose a moment of concentration and get caught. None of that. Emmett is a warrior. I do think he needs to stop now because I think it's going to be downhill from here. This was a great fight that ended what for me was one of the best, if not the best, fight night cards of the year. The 3 10-8 cards, though, were a little bit of a mockery, but whatever. Like 50-42 was, I don't know about that, but Topuria dominated this fight. Alright, so now I've got a record of 156-76. The win percentage, I forgot to change it, to be honest. It's probably around the same. I'll be back on Monday with the breakdown of the next card. Thanks to everyone who tuned in. Much love. And again, especially to the Twitter followers who are, you know, showing a lot of support, tuning in. Thanks a lot. Yeah, back on Monday. I'll break down the next cards. Tune in. This next one should be a banger too.